Hello and welcome to a very special segment of the Store TV from a very busy and hectic Mumbai, India. I hardly think there's a consumer on the planet who hasn't heard of McDonald's, and most people have experience in McDonald's. But clearly when McDonald's comes to a new market, and especially a market that has different taste expectations, mix of people who are very vegetarian, it has impacts in terms of the product and the product proposition. Perhaps you can just talk to us a little bit about McDonald's approach to the Indian market and how it has adapted its product presentation.
Sure. We started operations in India in 1996, but that is when we started serving our customers first. But actually, if you go back into history, we almost spent 6 years before that, which is 1990 to 1996, where we actually spent a lot of time on getting our supply chain in place. We actually introduced a new product in this country called lettuce, which is a key ingredient of McDonald's products, but it was not there in India. So India came to know about a new product called lettuce because of McDonald's. And then there were a lot of boundaries in which we need to operate. So one was the whole religious sentiments about beef and pork not being there in the products which we sell, because Indians don't consume those. At the same time, there's a very clear divide between vegetarian and non-vegetarian. So people who eat vegetarian are a little reserved about eating in a restaurant which serves both veg and non-veg. So what we did was we developed an Indian palate is very, very distinct than quite a lot of other countries. So we eat a lot of spicier food, we eat different spices into it, we eat a little hotter food. So what we did in India was, number one, we did not just replicate our menu from the global, we actually did our own research, did our own work, and there was a whole menu team which was working behind the scenes before we could actually start serving to the consumers. And now we have products like aloo tikki, we have products like McVeggie, we have products like potato wedges and pizza puff. So these are some of the products which we made only for Indian market, which are vegetarian products and adapted to Indian taste and palate.
And how do you deal with this separation of meat and vegetarian?
Oh yeah, that's very interesting. It actually puts a lot of pressure on our operations. It puts a lot of pressure on our costs. But our fundamental premise is that we need to be true to the consumer, and hence we are ready to absorb all these costs. So what we have done is, unlike any other country in the world, we operate in 119 countries today, but unlike any other country, what we have is we have two separate lines in our kitchen. So we have a vegetarian line and we have a non-veg line. So people who are working on a vegetarian line, they wear a green apron and they actually don't go to the non-veg line. And people who are non-veg line, they wear red aprons and they work on the non-veg line. So they don't mix during the shift. So a person who's handling a vegetarian product would be doing the kitchen work on vegetarian products only. Even at the serving stage, we use separate trays to serve vegetarian and non-vegetarian. Even in our storage, so in our cold rooms and everything, we have separate storage space for vegetarian and non-vegetarian products. So that's how we segregate the vegetarian and non-vegetarian.
I mean, clearly that has a huge impact in terms of costs, and also in terms of the space that you need within the stores as well.
Yeah. So it takes, as you rightly said, it takes the kitchen space. It means double the labor, and it also means double the investment because of the equipments. So it's like we're multiplying kitchen into two and doing all the investments around it.
Do you see any innovations taking place in where McDonald's and indeed other fast food retailers are located in going forward?
Yeah, there are certain innovations, the glimpses of which are already visible. So for example, convenience is becoming more and more critical. So as a fallout of convenience, we are we are looking at options like joining with oil alliances to get our presence in those and becoming more convenient. Or for example, innovative business models like drive-thrus. It sounds a little cliche because in US it's a very normal for McDonald's to have drive-thrus, but in India it is not. If you look it around, there's not even one single QSR or even other retail formats which provide a drive-thru to consumers. So we are the first who have actually started a lot of drive-throughs, and today almost 14% of our portfolio has drive-through restaurants. And we feel that is one of the innovation in the format of providing convenience to the consumer, which is going to make a huge inroads. And why I feel so is has a reason behind it. If you look at the growing four-wheeler population in this country, I mean the number of four-wheelers in this country is growing at a rapid pace. In fact, I was reading a data yesterday itself that the four-wheelers in the month of January saw a 34% growth, and this is a recessionary economy we are talking about. The parking spaces are becoming less, and people have paucity of time. The travel times have increased, so they're looking for an option which they can access through their cars and just have a 1-minute halt, take their food, and be on the run. So that's one of the other innovation which is happening. And I feel another innovation which is happening is in the front of media space. India is already the number 2 country in the mobile penetration, and the web is also catching up in a big time. So the whole innovation around the usage of media, this market is typically using television as a lead medium. But increasingly you will see people talking about and using internet, mobile as mediums to communicate and build loyalties with the consumers. So that's another shift which I can see happening in the market.
And on that point, are you experimenting with social networking, which is all the rage at the moment?
Yeah, we are, but I would not say that we are a very big player in this area till now. We are still watching, we are still evaluating the way we need to integrate into it, because we just don't want to be a fringe player in it. We want to use it the best way possible. So hopefully we would see much more action in McDonald's India in the months to come, not the years.
You said right at the beginning that one of the innovative things that McDonald's did was brought letters to India. Are there any innovations that have been developed by the McDonald's team in India that you think will be exported to McDonald's anywhere else in the world?
We already have Pizza Puff, which we did in India, which actually goes to United Arab Emirates and some other markets. I'm not sure of the other products, but okay, I'm not sure whether our products are going somewhere out. But another innovation for Indians per se is going to be a breakfast menu, which is something I feel is a great success with McDonald's worldwide. And in India, we have been testing it for around a year now, and we have seen great success with our breakfast menu. We are not used to eating a savory muffins. We are only used to sweet muffins. I think that is some phenomena which people have been exposed to when they travel to the western part of the world. So I think that's another innovation from a menu side which would be there for the Indians. I hope they're going to love it.
And finally, looking to the future, maybe the next 5 to 10 years, do you see the future for Indian retailing as something that's going to be very positive?
Yes. Do I see a gigantic growth happening? I'm not very sure of that. But do I see the way Indian retailing is shaping up, is that going to continue? Definitely so. I feel the way the income levels are increasing, the way people are paying more and more for the convenience, and the way our retailers, as a retailer, our ability to learn from the past and learn from other countries, I think we are going to get better at that, and it's going to really improve further from where it is right now.
Well, thank you very much indeed. It's been very insightful and very much appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Thanks a lot.